Hey everybody, welcome back to Return to Krynn, our D&D campaign. It is episode 5. The companions are in the town of Firstwall after they found out who was behind the bandit attack on them in the moors. Turns out it's the Knights of Neraka, and as we catch up with them right now, they're getting ready to go have a conversation with the Knights, and I'm sure it's going to go well, given the really agreeable personalities in the group. Now, that all being said, there's a lot more to Firstwall. They've got a lot of errands to run. They're going to resupply, get some items for the road, and they run into an interesting cult. We'll see how it goes. You guys head up north. You start passing through some of the rest of Firstwall's like Temple District, and as you're going straight north from where you're at, you kind of going pretty much straight through the middle of town. You pass the town center, which looks like it's a big fountain in the middle of town, and then like some small like stalls around the area. It's a more of a paved area that's been nicely kept up. There are some people here talking. You'll see again like a hodgepodge of different types of species. You'll get goblins and hobgoblins, humans and half elves. They're all just doing around their business. As you walk past that, you start walking past this larger area. Looks like this entire like 2 or 3 block stretch. It's just a couple of buildings on the outside, and there's a massive practice yard in the middle of it, where you see a bunch of people out there in armor practicing swordsmanship. Some people are practicing at the lances. And for those who have done some pickup work here and there, especially like in places like Sanction, and for Sybil, it's a bunch of mercenaries just training with together is what it is. Like you're literally in this district that's just all housing and training for mercs and town guard. It's just a very militaristic entire part of town. You guys walk past that and you hit High Street. High Street's the northernmost street that runs east and west. And you'll see like on the corners of the streets, there's shops for like alchemy and herbalism. There's a gem shop on one side. There's a tannery. There's a blacksmith on the far end of town, like towards the outer wall, so it's not close to the other buildings. You can see a large well that's there right by the blacksmith shop as well. And then you see this tavern is kind of snuggled up back towards the wall in that northernmost street that runs right across it. It's this building that's roughly 2 stories tall. It's kind of squat though. It comes to a peak in the middle, a little bit in disrepair, and there's a sign out front that's just swinging. It says the Swallowed Bile. And it looks like the painted sign has like a green like vomit or spew puddle on it.
Since we're already up, since we've made it our way up here, I'm going to look for our cart and horses. I'm going to look towards the blacksmith.
You see him down by the blacksmith.
Perfect. All right, you guys ready? So this could get hairy. Not going to lie.
Before we go, what's the plan? What are you planning on saying?
I was going to basically give them the same story you did, that we came across these people with this note and brought it back here, and we're interested in potentially acquiring what they were looking for, but we need more information.
Motion towards the door. That sounds fantastic to me.
All right, let's do it. Let's turn around and I'll start walking in.
Sibel's looking a little grim as she's going into the door. Kind of shakes her head. When she hears the plan, she kind of like...
I mean, unless somebody's got a better plan, I'm open to suggestions. I just don't... We have a story we've been going with. I don't want to fuck it up, go with something different, and then the stories clash, and then we have multiple people wanting to fuck us up.
I'm fine with going with the story we've been going with. The only thing I'm not quite with is letting on that we're interested, because depending on how secret they want to be about this, if we take information and then we leave, they may not want to let us leave.
Yeah.
Well, the other option is, and this is completely on Nysdrith at this point, is they clearly want the package. We could just not tell them shit, and we can go to the blacksmith, get what we need to get, and we can get the fuck out of here. But then we're just as in the dark in the packages situation as we were several nights ago. I leave it to the group as a decision, but it comes down to what Nysdrith wants to know. They may know, they may not know shit. They may have been commissioned by someone else. This could be a fucking goose chase.
No, they know, and I thought this was clear. As soon as we're the ones that go, and this is why we're being paid by Amtalk to go and tell these people, because Amtalk knows that if we're the ones that deliver the news, that
we're the ones that get the ire.
We're gonna get. Well, no, we're the new replacement hirees for obtaining the package. Like that's the way that this works. There's no other. Like we're going in to apply for this job right now. I just so that everybody is aware. Like that's what's happening. So you offering to maybe potentially be interested, that's fine, but it's not going to matter because
that's exactly what we're doing.
They're going to tell us that we're interested. Yeah.
Okay.
What about those of us who are a little more conspicuous? Maybe we shouldn't be there.
Mayhaps we can meet you at the blacksmith. Just keep an eye on the door, because if it breaks down and one of us flies out, we're going to need a hand.
That actually makes sense to hold some people back in case things go bad. There's some of us out, a couple outside to
sure
back us up, help us out, stall anybody else who might be
How about
coming in.
Mivos and Sybil, I think, should probably be the ones to go in.
That makes sense to me.
Comfortable with that?
You okay
That's
with that,
fine.
Nysdrith?
I would like to know.
Oh,
And
well,
you
you're
have
going to
been-
know.
And you have been lying quite a lot. How will I know you're not lying to me?
Why would I lie to you? You know where we're coming. I'm telling you the story we're telling them. Why would I lie to you?
That's a really, really, really good question, Nysdrith, and I'm glad that you asked. Sometimes in life, you have to do things sort of not on the level for the greater common good. In this instance, the greater common good is helping you. We've come across you. We feel bad for you. We like you. We've traveled with you now for a few days. You obviously have interesting
Firmly
abilities.
based in logic.
I'm sure
That's
there's
good.
an interesting story that goes along with where you came from, and we want to help you. This is kind of the best way that we've come up with to go about it. Maybe it's not exactly the best, most honest way to do it, but we're trying to do the right thing here, just kind of in a different way. Sometimes things aren't always black and white. That's all I'm trying to say.
Hopefully, it's the path of least resistance.
Sometimes they're red.
Ha ha! I see what he did there.
Don't die.
Oh, I hope not too.
Yeah, not again.
Great. If we're done coddling her, can we please go inside and take care of this?
Yes, I will. I will turn and start walking toward the door.
As you guys approach this squat 2-story building, you immediately find two beggars. One is an older individual. He's like scooting across on like a roll cart. You know, he's down on his knees. And the other one is like a little urchin, a child, probably like 13 or so years old. And they rush up to you guys as you're walking up and like, hey, can you please help me? My dad, he lost a leg against the Draconians outside, and we could really use a couple of spare coin.
I'm just gonna turn and look at Voss.
I'll turn and look at Sybil.
Miss,
I will look. It's like I will look at Voss. Like, if you don't flash that chain, I will deck you right here.
Listen,
enough.
guys, we're on the. We got somebody on the job. We don't.
Since we're in a coddling mood, I'll just kind of flash the pendant, wink at him.
you'll see the beggar on the cart. He's like, it's twice today. He'll kind of push back, and you'll see him kind of move to like stretch his legs. He's been sitting on for this while, like probably a couple hours. And the kid's like, well, you give me a coin anyways? Like give it a shot, right?
For that, it's like for that one, I'll actually toss him a copper.
Sweet. Thanks.
I'll just say to him, are there really this many travelers that come through where...
Yeah, we're the last stop, like before they get out of the bogs from the mountain towns.
Yeah.
It's a restock town.
Because this is amazing. This is like our fourth one of you that we've come across running this.
You've run through the entire shift already? The kid says.
I guess so.
Yes.
They work in shifts.
Of course they work in shifts. They have a union.
Union. Oh.
That's what the guild is.
I guess the guild is a union.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Okay. Hey.
Well, stay on the level, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good day, and I'll walk in.
Hey, if you guys are on the job, you can get some good money. And he'll actually the kid will point down towards the blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
There's a guy wearing these white robes. He's just like candy. It's like picking candy out of a baby's hands. So keep an eye out.
Appreciate
Oh
the
my
tip.
God.
Yeah, I'll keep
We'll
that in
definitely
mind.
take that to mind.
Yeah, I'll stop over there for sure.
No problem. No problem. And they'll go to
Oh,
their
we'll head in.
places again.
This town is like Carol's worst nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. Not having this.
It's
Like
uncomfortable.
I was glad when we're like, no, we're not gonna go there. We're gonna go to. No, apparently not.
I'm curious as to how many of the people in the Mashakal Temple have stabbed themselves just to go have a nice rest. Like, really?
Go have a nap.
Right. Like, oh, I need to be healed and I need a good night's sleep. Oh, thanks. Fucking people.
So it's Sybil, Dade, and Voss that are heading inside, right?
Correct.
All right. As you all walk in, the first thing that hits you is how more sophisticated this particular inn is versus the tavern that you guys were just at. The tavern that you're at was that narrow building. It was right by this massive mansion. This place is between a bunch of shops, but it's kept clean. It's more of a traditional looking inn. When you walk in through the door, you're immediately hit by the smell of the wood burning in the fireplace. You immediately hit by the scent of like spice and mulled wine, and then all kinds of vegetables and food cooking in the back kitchen area that's kind of wafting through the air. The lights here are a little low. They kind of keep the curtains drawn a bit. Now, mind you, at this point in time, it's probably 5 or so at night, which means the sun's starting to get a little lower, and so the light's a little dimmer outside. But in here, it's kept to a relatively good level. It's still a bit dimmer than the outside, but it's not like you're navigating by candlelight. You got 2 large fires going on the right-hand side of the room. There's actually 2 fireplaces that are going. There's a small stage for performances in the northeast corner of the building. The bar is on the far wall of the tavern from you. That kind of comes out like a horseshoe almost and kind of dips down towards the entrance. To the left-hand side, you got some booths that are back-to-back and along the walls. There's a staircase that leads up to that like narrow, squat second story. The right-hand side by the fireplaces, you got a scattering amount of tables. And there's a good deal of customers here. You see all sorts of different species. There are, again, like goblins, hobgoblins here. There are some half-elves, some elves. There appear to be some humans as well mixed in. The bartender, the one that's working the main bar, is a larger human, a little portly. He's got this red beard and a shortly cut red hair, and he's kind of bouncing from patron to patron that's by the bar itself. You do see probably 2 or 3 different waitresses that are moving around the crowd to serve people their drinks as they get orders in. Now, as you step in fully and kind of take an assessment of the scene, there's nobody here that looks like a knight. Like, nobody's wearing like plate mail or partial plate mail. It seems like people are casual.
I guess the first thing to do will be to go to the bartender, because the bartender is usually the guy in the know.
So Dade's walking up to the bar?
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, can I get 3 ales, please?
As you step up and make your order, he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Do you want to sit at the bar or do you want to have a table?
Actually, you know what? I was kind of looking for some people specifically. How much are those ales, by the way?
Oh, it's just going to be a couple copper.
Oh, no problem. I will slide over a steel and be like...
You put it down on the countertop and you just kind of slide it across, and the coin makes a little soft scraping sound. His hand goes down on it very slowly, and he pulls it off on the other side and puts it into his apron. What do you need to know?
I'm looking for a couple of guys who... Knights of Neraka? I think they're here waiting on some business that we may be able to help with.
Well, I'm not one to reveal such information about my patrons, but if I were, I would say you should look to my right in a booth for 2 of them, and then look down into a table a little bit right by the goblins that are sitting by the fireplace for the other 2. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're watching the place from 2 angles, so just so you know. Makes
sense. Thanks.
Yep. I'll get those drinks for your friend as he leans back.
Appreciate it.
And you'll see him kind of go to like the the barrels of ale. He pulls you guys, 3 different drinks, puts the flagons on a tray, brings them back over to the bar and sets them down. Sit where you like. There's plenty of room.
Appreciate it. I will grab mine and hand the other 2 theirs, since I'm normally the drink bitch anyways. And as I hand it to him, I'll be like, to your left and to your right, as you could, and I'll just subtly point the 2 out. And then I'll start walking toward the two that are in the booth.
I'll follow.
You'll see a waitress is kind of like swinging by. She kind of navigates there before you guys. You walk between a table with 2 hobgoblins and a hobgoblin at the bar. As you guys walk past them, they look over at you, just kind of give a grunt, and you hear them mutter in their breath something in common like strangers, fucking out-of-towners type shit. Then as you guys walk by and start making way around the booths, the smell of like pipe tobacco and pipe weed kind of fills the air, and you'll see in the booth that you're approaching, there's one gentleman that's sitting back, not wearing any armor. He's got like loose clothing, looks like a nice traveler's outfit, like a darker cloak that's wrapped around his shoulders, but it's no hood up, it's just down. He's leaning back smoking a pipe. There looks like a finished plate of food in front of him, and there's a flagon that's half filled with ale. The woman sitting across from him, she is wearing bulky clothing. She's got a cloak that's kind of covering the whole front of her body. She's just got her forearms visible, but you can see greaves on her forearms, and she's holding this like flagon of dwarven spirits. That sharp smell immediately hits your nose as you walk closer.
Okay, and those are the 2 people we're looking for, right?
Those are the 2 that he pointed out that were right in the booth. Now, anybody want to make their perception roll really quick to see if you spot something?
Absolutely.
Difficulty will be a 12.
I rolled like crap.
Ooh,
I
I also rolled like
A
crap.
6,
crap.
a 9, and a 7. You guys are like, what's going on?
Oh,
I
we're
don't even
terrible.
All right, I'm gonna use one of those dice since none of us succeeded.
Yeah. One of us have to do it.
All right,
May as well
so
be you.
Sybil's using the dice, brings you guys on to 39. An 11.
I will also take a die because that 11 isn't going to cut it. 20.
There we go.
20 will cut it. You will see by the bulkiness of her clothing, which is funny because you just had to deal with this entire same situation. She's wearing half plate underneath the clothing. You can see
It's
the
just
steel
hidden
rim.
well. It's hidden to look like bulky clothing.
Yeah, you can see the steel rim of the collar of her armor as she turns her body. It's what catches your eye, and it makes sense with the contours of the way her clothes are falling over her.
When I walk up, I'll just kind of be like, "Hey," I'll point at her, just kind of nonchalantly, and be like, "Hey, maybe next time just tuck a little. Take that cloak and tuck a little." I'm just trying to help you out. Hey,
She
we're
just nods quietly at you. The gentleman kind of chuckles. I told you it was visible. He looks over at you like, what can I do for you 3?
We were here because of potential mutual acquaintances that were out doing something that will not be able to deliver what was requested. We were sent here to deliver this news by I'll turn to Voss. What was that guy's name again?
Namtalk.
Namtalk. That's it.
Flash the pendant.
They
Seems
didn't
to
make
work.
it.
And who the fuck are you then? Delivery boys?
We were actually
girl?
the ones that found them.
Just traipsing through the area and found them?
Well, we were on our way, and it was on a trail through the bogs. So I mean, anybody traveling this way will come across that.
Roll your deception.
Absolutely. Come on, deception! Don't fail me now.
+4 on
Okay, we're probably gonna need to
this.
die.
Oh!
Oh, not.
That's a 6. They're going to re-roll.
Yes, sir.
Still only a 15. Son of a bitch. All right, looks like your lie has substance for now.
But the reason we're here is there was a note left behind. They didn't do a good enough job of stashing it. And so we brought it to Namtalk and found out there was something that was supposed to be delivered. We just know it was a crate. We don't know what was in it. But we were told to come and let you know that transaction can't happen because the people hired are no longer around.
Okay, so you're just an errand boy?
Well, I mean, we're kind of on the job too. So do you mind if we sit?
We're new. We thought volunteering for some shit work would be a good way to make some connections.
And some money.
And some money.
He'll look at the woman across from him. She'll just kind of shrug and she'll move to stand up and gesture to the booth inside of the booth. You can fit one person in next to her, given the armor.
I'll slide in.
The male will stand up. He'll just gesture towards the booth. You two can sit there, no problem.
I will let Voss go in first, and I will sit between him and the other knight.
Well, as you sit down,
if Voss is sitting down.
Fuck, I don't want to. Yeah, I'll sit down.
They're putting you on the inside of the booth, guys.
I know. It's like the worst thing.
So,
Hey, at least there's somebody between you and the guy who probably has status.
Yeah.
True that.
you guys pack in. He'll sit down, and as he sits down next to Sybil, you'll smell a weird scent of like cloying decay and like rose petals. Smells very strange. Given your backstory, I will let you roll your perception.
And
Oof.
Take a die, sir.
oh, sure, why not?
Okay.
Here we go. 19.
Much better.
Spell components.
Okay.
There's definitely the scent of spell components. That cloying decay is a big tell, and the rose petals mixed in with that, that's definitely something that's very often around like spellcasters. Either for some components.
Do I know why I know that?
No,
Or is it-
but it's just something that definitely comes to mind. You're like, I know what that smell is.
Okay.
That's a magic user.
I'll actually kind of glance at him a little bit, and I'll kind of like wrinkle my nose a little bit, and then look back at the table.
He'll just smile charmingly. So, you want to talk work. You want to track this thing down. Well, I will tell you this. That package is on its way to Palanthus and needs to be intercepted before it gets there.
Do we know time frame? Like, is this something that needs to be done ASAP, like finish our drink, get the fuck out type of thing? Or
Well, how
do we know how they're traveling?
You were at a site that you said was by it. How do you think they were traveling, young man?
Well, I assume probably by horse at the very least, because we did see hoof prints, because it's a bog and you can see that.
Do you have a horse?
I don't.
You should probably get one if you plan to catch them.
That's fair. I'm curious as to what we're looking for. What is it that we need to
suit
retrieve?
of armor.
Just an old suit of armor?
Yes. It's very valuable.
Okay.
Why
What are we
is it so
talking-
valuable?
Holds information.
Okay.
Should be in a large crate.
That's fair. Can you at least describe what the suit of armor potentially looks like? Like, I don't understand the significance, and I don't need to, but I need to know exactly what I'm looking
understand
for.
significance. It's on a wagon heading towards Palanthus, pulled by horses in a large crate. That's all you need to know.
I get it.
Not exactly. It's like finally Sybil
I
speak.
get it. I'm curious as to exactly what we're looking for. And Ray, I would like to roll persuasion to pull a little more out of this guy. That's a solid roll. 18, not bad.
Oh, it was on a 17 before it rolled over. So it's a 14. I'm going to roll that again because I believe in using these dice and not being afraid to do so.
Us too.
Second roll +4. Worse than the first. All right, so he will kind of clear his throat. It's something that's been enchanted that we need for information purposes.
Fair. So we're looking for something magical. That helps a lot, because if there are multiple crates, one's going to stand out if it's magical.
The rest
Okay.
are just corpses.
Fair enough. Okay, what are we talking payment-wise?
For the three of you, 30 steel each. It's good pay. On
30
delivery.
steel is pretty good pay. Do you have any idea of what is within this caravan that's carrying these corpses in this armor?
Couple of basic mercenaries that have decided to go with it, and a white robe mage.
I'll just kind of look over at Voss and say, we'll be like, well, what do you guys think? I think 30 steel apiece is doable, but input, gentlemen, or sir and ma'am. I'll kind of start sipping the ale.
It's pretty good, actually. It's spiced.
Good. Then I will enjoy my spiced ale.
Well, obviously they're not just your bargain bin mercenaries. Otherwise, I don't see why we'd find those corpses. We'd find those corpses in the state they were in. So,
That's true.
I don't know. There's some danger to be had here, boys.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good point, and I didn't take that into consideration. So, how about we come to an agreement? And it's not increasing your offer at all, but because of the danger we're walking in, as the last team was found dead, 10 steel a piece up front. And we leave the second we finish drinking these flagons of ale.
No, because if you end up dead too, that means that we are out of 30 steel.
That's true, but if we don't go and you have to wait longer, you're out of this armor.
If you don't go, we just go ourselves.
That's fair, and that saves you 90 steel in total. It's a hard bargain. What do you guys think? I'm down to go. I like 30 steel apiece.
How hard could it be? It's just a crate, right? It's
Some
just some old
mercenaries.
armor.
Yeah,
It's not going to be just us, though.
that's
Maybe
true.
pick up a couple of meat shields.
Sure, but we pay them what? 3-5 silver? Or not silver. Sorry, 3-5 steel maybe. And if they die, we just don't pay them. Right?
Fair enough.
It's a decent payday, 30 steel, right? Fair. Cheers. I'll pick up my flagon of ale.
The guy will pick up his and he'll click it against yours. The woman will lift her dwarven spirits and just kind of not click it, but she'll just give you a nod
Right.
before she takes a sip. As the
we'll
man
drink.
puts down his ale, he puts his hand out on the table, palm up. I need to know that you all swear by Zivlin, the force of wisdom, that you will see this through and not betray us. If you do, I will hunt you down to the ends of this world.
Well, I figure the business we're in, that's pretty much any job we take if we fuck over whoever is giving us the contract.
Certainly. But this God sees all and knows all. You betray us, I will know.
Of course you will.
I have your oath then.
Hey, if that's what you need, then that's what you got, sir. I solemnly give you the oath that when and if we come across this package, we will return it to you as needed. This enchanted armor.
I swear no oaths to no gods. This is a business transaction. Gods need not be involved. And
Do you smell that?
chances are that by the time the job is done, your god may have left anyways, because that's what they all do.
You smell it? Kina? It smells like fear. If you don't
I
care
smell
about a god
spices.
being around to collect or oversee an oath, then what stops you from making an oath if that god can't be there to enforce it?
It's not that he can't be there. It's that I find it silly.
I'll just kind of I'll put my mug down and be like, gods don't enforce oaths because the people who believe in those gods enforce those oaths. And I'll kind of tap the girl's plate mail on her shoulder. And you said you would come and hunt us. That is what allows us to follow through on this oath, not the god. It is your will.
When you
But-
tap her
yes.
plate mail, she puts down her drink and just stares at you. Like you just crossed
Just-
a line, stares at her.
Whoa, hey, I'm just making a point that the show of intimidation here is what will ensure this oath is followed through, and the promise of our terrible deaths shall we betray you.
No
That is
touching.
what will ensure the oath will be followed. No problems. We're doing a job. It's what we do.
The guy will kind of sigh and he'll whisper. You will all feel this weird chill kind of sweep through the area. Like just kind
Damn
of
it.
brushes past the booth. Like a cold wind just kind of blew past you.
Am I able to roll an Arcana roll?
Yes, you can.
I'd like to do that too.
You guys may roll Knowledge Arcana, yes.
Oh no, a 4 is not going to do it.
Oh, no, sir.
And that's
And
not
a
going to do
7
it
will
either.
not either. Do you all want to
You know what? Yeah, we've got.
Voss with the 19.
It's kind of important. I am definitely going to use a die. Fuck. Well, 12 is better than a fucking 7, so.
Immediately, Voss, like I was saying, recognizes this as a little cantrip, a minor spell that some of the thieves in the Thieves Guild have learned to kind of pick up on. And it's almost like an illusion. It's a minor effect with magic. This wasn't a god intervening. He literally just whispered a spell to freak you guys out, is what it feels like. For Sybil on a 13, somebody just used magic in the area. For damn sure. You're not quite sure. You couldn't catch the words that he was speaking right next to him. But he said something, and then magic happened. Might be him, might be somebody close by, or the other knights across the bar. No idea. But what kind of knight uses magic? That's another issue. For Dade, you're like, cool. That was fucked, but okay.
Perfect. I'm still good on my performance, so.
Yeah.
My god's happy.
When you retrieve it, meet us outside the southern edge of Nightland Forest, just on the west side of the mountains.
That sounds like a good a meting spot as any.
Is it bad that I want to get to the level 15, come back here and do basically a cleansing of the town?
Well, lady and sir, if you don't mind, they have a head start on us, and we're going to get on our way.
Go pick up some horses. And the guy will stand up. The woman will move as well to let you guys get out of the booth. Once you do so,
I'll
sit
scooch
back
up.
down.
I'll just kind of knock on the table twice, and I will start heading toward the door.
They'll just watch you as you guys leave.
I'll do the same, but I'll cast a little glance over to the knights, over by the fire, they're probably eyeing us up too, eh?
They are watching you for damn sure. You'll see the two of them. It looks like they're two males, one with darker skin, shorter hair. He's wearing this red sash across the top of his cloak. The gentleman sitting beside him is wearing lighter clothing, but he's got a mustache and just a dark mustache and long dark hair. And they're just watching you as you guys walk out.
Out we go.
So the people that stayed outside, you'll see that beggar and the orphan. Well, the orphan. They'll fleece probably 3 or 4 people walking by for at least a couple copper each.
Nice.
But you guys will meet back up. It only took probably about a half an hour for them to be in there. By the time they come back out, the sun's gone a little further down. It's getting a little darker in the streets. You'll see that a lot of the lampposts that are by have been lit by town watchers that are walking by and just lighting them to keep the streets lit.
So let's step aside somewhere out of the way where we can have a little chat.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Do you think now would be a good time to meet back up with everyone else and let them know what's going on?
Nope, not yet.
Not quite yet. We should come to a decision on how to proceed with the very valuable information that we just got.
Well, I think.
Happened.
Well, we didn't meet back up. Oh, you guys are outside, right?
Yeah, they're outside.
Yeah.
They've been waiting
That's
outside.
right. Well, I think the
Oh,
first
stop.
thing we need to do before we hit anything else is to go back to that other tavern, and we have very valuable information to share with them. We have at least 3 knights,
Godzilla.
4.
and one of which that's with them. He's a magic user, so I assume he's not a knight.
Okay.
It's not necessarily true. He might be with you. He might be with their orders. Some orders do keep wizards on retainer.
I will look as I'm speaking. I will be addressing the group, but I'll kind of mostly be addressing Carol. We have information on where these evil knights who are seeking to enslave and use Nysdrith here for information. We know where they're going to be and when they're going to be there. We have a unique opportunity to get the drop on them and take care of them, or at least ask very strongly for the information about Nysdrith that we're looking for once we get the drop on them. So the advantage that we have here is knowing where they're going to be. We can take the time to kind of formulate a plan to, take them out. They definitely have evil intentions. We know that for sure.
Yeah, and they definitely only. It took a little bit of prying, but they finally admitted that this armor was enchanted. They didn't
And
specifically say what it was or who it was.
Yeah. And they're not going to stop. They simply said that if we didn't agree to take the job, that they would just hunt
Go
down
themselves.
the caravan themselves. And they know who's with it. They even described a person in a white robe traveling with a caravan of dead bodies headed towards Palanthas. So they know where we're going. If we don't agree to do this, they're just going to hunt us down anyways. At least this way, now that we've agreed to take the job, we know where they're going to be waiting.
And
Buys
we
us-
know faces now,
It
too.
sounds like you have a bit of a head start.
Yeah, buys us a little
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
So I think we go give some of this information over to the sister, so she can at least, while they're here, make their lives, or what's left of them, shitty.
She can come with us as far as I'm concerned. She can be a part of the plan to
That's fair.
Well,
Maybe we can.
It's
take
her
out this little
information
group
in
of
her
notes.
memory, so yeah.
I'm not sure how Liam's going to feel about that. I especially don't know how he's going to feel about that. Sorry, what is the? Sorry,
The white robe wizard.
no, the young lady who was a part of the. I don't want to say Brotherhood of Steel because that's not right.
Kristen?
Oh, the
Kristen, who
Legion
was
of
part of
Steel.
the Legion of Steel?
Legion of Steel.
Legion of Steel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain was going to fall out. Legion of Steel. I certainly don't think that Liam's going to be pleased with her being around.
Probably not, but I also don't think he'd be pleased knowing that the entire way to Palanthas will be hunted if we don't take care of this.
And
Also,
not
we
hunted
need to
by
convince-
anybody, but hunted by...
The Knights of Neraka.
The Knights of Neraka.
Right.
We also need to let Liam know to keep his fucking mouth shut about what really happened.
Oh God, that's also true. I forgot about that. So maybe
Sure.
she travels separate from us, not with us, but
There, maybe she meets us there. In a
he
day or
meets
two.
us there on her own. Yeah.
So as you guys are talking, Nysdrith will feel somebody tug on her robe, just like the back hem.
You'll turn and look.
You'll see this half-elf male, a light skin. He is wearing like a red robe, but it's like bright red, like fire engine red, with like gold hems. And with him is a woman, short, looks like a little Kender, actually. She's wearing a similar outfit. And he actually, as you turn, he goes to press this pamphlet into your hand. It's like, ma'am, you need to, at this point in time, make peace with your gods so you may survive the great burning that is to come. Please, go to the temple district, say your prayers, and then understand that we, worshippers of the red-winged flame, will provide a new fertile land once Cinder has raised this ground to its bare essence and made it once more sprout new life.
Ashes do make ground fertile.
They do.
I'll just nod.
You understand. Here, have a pamphlet, and he'll hand you a pamphlet as
Absolutely.
well. It's got that same banner you guys saw on the Draconian army, and underneath it's just a bunch of scribbles about making peace with your gods so that when the great burning comes and cleanses the world, you will be ready to embrace what is to come.
Oh, gods above and below. And she like doesn't even move straight past him towards the blacksmith. Doesn't want a part of this.
Hey, wait up.
Yes. Oh, she's walking off. Oh, please, it's not to be offended. It's simply the truth. As we all know, it will come to pass. And you'll see the Kender like kind of bounce. Yes, it will come to pass.
I'll grab the kid's hand and be like, I believe. I saw it. I'll
Wait.
point up. I'll be like, I saw it fly off.
So there's the half elf and the Kender. Whose hand are you grabbing?
it's the half elf.
Okay,
The half elf.
good,
I'll
because
be
you
like,
mean I have an
believe.
arm left if you touch the
I will-
Kender.
I will make sure my friends know. They saw what I saw. I just need to convince them further.
As you take
Nysdrith
his
is going
hand-
to very stealthily step away, look at Carol, and kind of just motion toward the blacksmith.
He will clasp your shoulder with his free hand. Brother, it will be, and you will be one of the chosen when Cinder comes to bring new life to us all.
But praise be Cinder.
Praise be Cinder! He'll let you loose and just look up to the sky.
I will
I think
follow
it's time
suit.
for us to bring our
You
light.
guys.
elsewhere.
That's
Take off.
exactly. I was like, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. And you guys just scoot away as these two get lost in the rapture of their own belief. And they start proselytizing to the people that are walking in and out of the tavern. It gets a little uncomfortable for a moment, but you guys make your way down
I'm
the
going to
street.
keep the flyer.
Okay. You make your way out. Head to the blacksmith.
Yep.
I think we should head back to the bar first.
So head back down south.
Disseminate information, then hit the blacksmith. Have
The blacksmith
get
is
whatever
right
stores.
there, and I can drop off my horse so it can get reshoed, and then we can let them know when they're done, if they get done before us, to meet us over there, because they're right
Perfect.
there.
Yeah, they're
Sure,
right down the
Also,
street.
we might want to
All right.
stop the white robe mage from getting fleeced.
We should probably tell the white robe to put a fucking brown robe on, because they know there's a white robe traveling.
Yeah, you can try and convince him of that. To
Well, then
Yeah,
take
you
off
you
his
can,
white robe.
He can't
I'll
do that,
convince him to
Jeff.
stay the fuck in the cart then. You just
That
stay
can
in the cart, buddy. Yeah, we'll head to the blacksmith, I guess.
Okay. You guys walk over to the blacksmith. It's not that. It's just right down the block. You guys walk a couple street, like a street over or so. You pass. You can see the fire is burning in the open air, bottom of the building for the blacksmith, and you see your wagons parked there. Looks like some of the wheels have been kind of repaired a little bit, like on some of the, the rounded portions have been kind of rebanded with steel. And as you walk up, the horses are just kind of like neighing as they're taking, advantage of the troughs that are right outside. You will see that Liam is just leaning against the wagon. Looks like he's sharpening his sword. You don't see Rin at all. There's a large blacksmith, a very very muscular guy. He's working with like 3 or 4 different apprentices. Looks like this guy's probably either half ogre or just really huge. Like he stands almost 7 feet tall and is just broad shoulders as fuck. And he's just hammering away at some of the horseshoes. He's making new shoes, and he got the apprentices making nails for the horseshoes as you guys walk up.
Finally, someone who's close to Nysdrith's height.
Oh, he's taller than you. As you walk
This is
up,
good.
Liam, he looks up. He's like, "Hey, where the fuck have all y'all been? It's been a while."
We've got some info. We definitely need to chat.
I'd fucking chat. I'm just sitting here sharpening your blade.
Well, when you're done, we need to basically get the fuck out of here. is pretty much what's going to have to happen.
Why? What did you do?
Well, we'll tell you on the way. Like this is sensitive info that we cannot talk about here and now.
Right. Okay. Did you find out what you
But-
need to know?
Oh, I think we found out some pretty important info. Not exactly what we need to know, but enough.
All right. Well, we're finishing up the last of the shoes right now. Probably be like a half an hour. We can head out.
Perfect. We'll make a quick little run. And well, I guess me, Voss, and Sybil can go, and then we'll be right back. Because I know some other people have some places they want to stop in that half an hour, anyways.
All
We'll
right.
just get everything done and then get out of here in about half an hour.
Yeah, not a problem at all. I'll just be waiting here,
By the way, where's Rin?
taking a nap
Yeah,
in the
where's
back.
perfect.
Good.
Can you keep him back there?
Why?
Because they know we're traveling. They know that there's a white robe that's with the caravan. That's why.
Okay.
You're not in your armor, so you're fine. Right
No.
now. Nobody's gonna notice.
I can't lie about it, but I don't have to advertise.
That's true. That's true.
So I'll keep it in the
so
back.
yeah.
I'll tell him it's for his health because it is.
It is. Absolutely it is. And we're going to go disseminate some information with some other folks, and then we can get the hell out of here.
All right, sounds good.
Perfect.
Hey,
Yor,
hey,
you got
hey,
some
hey.
shopping to do, right, bud?
What
Yeah.
folks? What folks?
What do you mean? What folks are we going to talk to?
Hi.
Somebody to help us, actually. Funny enough.
Little more. Hi.
Okay, so you know the group that came after us a couple nights ago.
Hi.
One of them's sister is very mad at the individuals who hired them to go after the package.
But does she know that we?
Nope.
And she's not gonna. Ixnay on that info, eh?
Well, just keep it away from me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And most importantly, don't tell Rin. Because he
Yes.
probably won't be able to keep his big mouth shut.
Oh, yeah. He'd want to make a recompense.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
We're
needs to be
we're doing that though in a way.
Kind
Oh,
of. Yes.
You know.
It's like,
you'll,
yes.
you'll enjoy after we're moving and we get to tell you more.
All right. Well, go out what you got to do, and I'll be here.
Yes. Perfect. Voss, Sybil, how about we double time it and then we can get back in time to get the hell out of here.
Let's go.
Okay.
We'll head off.
So you guys start heading down to Johann's. Is you're going to check out the jewelry shop?
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna go grab myself. I'm gonna spend that 100 steel on
100 steel
on a gem.
So you make your way down to this building that is all windows, it seems. A lot of pane glass that's displaying a bunch of different types of jewelry. You have earrings, you have necklaces, bracelets, rings, brooches. They do a lot of custom work here. Definitely. So you've got a lot of precious metals here. You've got steel, gauntlets. You have gold and silver being used as well. And semi-precious and precious stones just out the ass in this display. As you walk in, there's a larger, portlier man wearing this velvet red vest that's barely managed to cover his girth as he's resting on a stool. He's got a little gem cutter's monocle in his eye, and he's looking at this diamond as you step in. And as you open the door, this little bell dings as it just gets tripped by the door opening. And he looks up at Yor and goes, "Ah, welcome, my child. What can I do for you?"
So first of all, is this guy legit? I'm basically when drawing on my artisan background here. Is this guy legit? Artisan guild, or is he one of the thieves guild that's making a killing here?
Given the way that the tools are laid out on the counter in front of him, and the way he's been examining the gem, he's legit.
Okay. All right. So in that case, then this should probably be a fairly straightforward transaction. Of course, I'm going to try to negotiate him down.
Sure.
But I basically need. So I need an emerald. It must be cut this way specifically.
Oh, you know what you want when you come in. That's, for me, all the better. It makes my job much easier. Let's take a look at the emeralds here. Come over here. And he'll actually get off the stool. You hear it kind of scrape back against the wood. He leads you over to one side of the counter where he's got a couple of different smaller gems. These are not the size you're looking for. These look like they're probably 25 to maybe 50 steel at most. But again, that's what's on display. So it kind of makes sense from that. The cheaper stuff and the more expensive things, like 100 steel is a lot of fucking money. That's probably stored somewhere more secure. Mm-hmm. I can do whatever cuts you want. I mean, here are some raw ideas. We can make those things happen for you, my child.
I need something very specific. It's for an important project. Someone very important. Anything larger.
We can definitely make larger. You have dimensions in mind? You know what you're generally looking for?
And yeah, I'll actually give him almost a schematic.
I have something I can shave down for you. Probably take 20 or so minutes, if that's fine.
Okay. In the meantime, do you know where the tanner is?
Oh, yes. He's just a building over from the blacksmith down west. It's going to be about 125 steel, by the way. You want to roll persuasion?
Yeah, definitely. Not fantastic.
14's not bad. He will counter with his persuasion to haggle you back to say it's a reasonable price. He'll get +2. He got a 14. And you got a 12. Oh, you got a 14. You are the protagonist. Wait, no. Yep. You got a 14. He got a 14. You're the protagonist, so you went out.
Okay.
You managed to talk him down to about 90.
Okay, cool. That works great. 90 is acceptable.
It takes 5 minutes for you guys to haggle this out. You need to pay him up front. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. An insight check. I need to know if this guy's likely to.
I understand. Given what you guys have seen in this town, I completely get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Is he going to try to screw me over? 22 on that insight.
No.
Okay.
He just wants to make sure you come back when he starts cutting this gem down.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. Because he's taking a much more expensive gem and slicing it down to your specifications. He wants to make sure you're coming for it.
Yeah. Well, what I'll put in a deposit of half.
That's fine. He'll accept that. He's like, oh, Let's come back in 20 minutes. I'll have it done for you. No problem.
All right, good enough.
And
Right.
you'll see him as you walk out. He'll step into a back room. And see him step out with this large fucking emerald like the size of a fist, and he'll pull out some like a chisel and a small little jeweler's hammer, and he'll start going to work as the door closes behind you. You start making your way out to the street, and you head out to the tanner's. And I'm assuming it's just to get the skin tanned.
Basically preserved in such a way. What I actually want to do is there should be enough material that I can, in fact, sell off half of it to the tanner.
You want me some of that steel back? I get you.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Fair enough. You get down to the tanner's shop, and the first thing that hits you is a smell for all the chemicals they use for the process. There's a lot of skins laid out on the like frames that they put out to where they have it stretched so it can get dyed tight.
Stretching frame, yeah.
Yep, and you have some apprentices that have stepped out and they're starting to like rub it down with the chemicals to make sure everything's smooth and cleaning it off. Some are getting onto the insides for some of the more animal skins. They're scraping all the excess flesh off the inside to make it ready for tanning. Now, mind you, it's about 6 o'clock at this point, roughly, from when you guys started coming into town. So the sun's going down. So most businesses are starting to close right now, but they're still open. They've still got work to do. So they're here till it's done. The tanner herself it looks like a half ogre woman. She's smoking a pipe. She's tall. She's like probably 6'4", 6'5", about tall as Nysdrith. And she's just watching the apprentices. And every once in a while, she's like, "You're doing that wrong. Do it this way. Much better." And once they scramble about their work, she just kind of relaxes and she has like a glass of water in her pipe as you approach. Once she sees Jorg's like blue hair, she kind of gets a small smile. "What can I do for you, Sir Gnome?"
So now I'm going to just point out, if she's obviously a half ogre, I'm not going to show her the ogre skin, because I'm expecting she's going to recognize that.
That's a good point. But she is obviously a half ogre, yes. However, half ogres and ogres are very different. The half ogres are more civilized. They've gotten a bit more used to society. The ogres themselves, they're borderline sentient. They're mostly like monstrous, instinctive creatures. So it probably wouldn't be that big of an offense.
Okay. Good evening.
Sir Gnome, what can we do for you, sir?
So I have a skin of a creature that attacked me.
You've come to the right
I would like
place
to
get it fixed.
I would like to actually perhaps sell you some of it.
Depends on the quality. I'll take a look at it. You have it on you?
And I'll take it out of the backpack.
As you start unrolling some of the skin, she takes a long drag off the pipe and exhales this massive cloud of smoke into the air. And you hear a small chuckle start to just rumble through her chest as you start like unrolling it and showing it off. Seems like you got an old ancestor. Fair enough. I can see to that.
Okay.
What are you looking to sell, and what are you looking to have done with the rest?
I need to sell half, and I'm gonna keep the rest. I just need it prepared, and I can find it. I can get it sewn up later.
Well, usually it takes a couple days for the tanning process, but she takes another drag. You're lucky that I know a little bit of magic. I can make it happen much faster for you, but the price does increase. However, that might be reduced by the amount that you're willing to part with. You just want me to tan it and prep it, make sure it doesn't go bad and rot. It's not a problem. You're selling roughly half of that. And she actually walks over. You see her kind of get up out of the chair, and it creaks a bit as she finally lets it rest from her, away from her weight, as her muscled frame walks around the skin you've laid out. I would say after taking in the half that you're not going to be using, we're looking at maybe 2 steel for the effort. And I can have it done within 4 hours.
Can you have it done any faster?
If you want to double the price, I can make it 2. So 4 steel, 2 hours?
How about 3 steel? I'll try to persuade.
Okay.
Try to negotiate down.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see what you get.
Not terrible.
17's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
She takes your argument in consideration. She kind of nods. Well, all right. 2 hours, 3 steel. That's fair.
All right. Deal.
All right. She'll start taking the half that you're not going to be using, and she'll basically call over an apprentice, and you'll see like a half elf run over, gather it up, looks a little like nose wrinkles at it, like, oh, that's a. And she's like, what? It's a skin. We deal with skin of creatures all day, every day. Prep it like anything else and get to work. He's like, oh, sure. Sorry. Then he'll rush off with it. What you want prepped from her, she'll actually pick up, toss it over her shoulder. She'll take another drag off of her pipe and then exhale. And as she does that, she'll kind of flip it over and just tap it on the back of her finger. And you'll see like all the ash and like, you know, all the residue kind of pop out onto the ground. Sir Gnome, meet me here in 2 hours and you'll be ready to go.
All right. Good deal.
You can pay when you come back. It's probably fine.
All right. I'll do the insight check on her as well, just to double check.
19. She's completely sincere with you.
All right, cool.
No deception. Just for her, this is just a normal business transaction.
Good enough. All right, we're safe. We're good to go. 2 hours.
Yep.
And we should have everything.
So while you're doing that, we go back to Gotham, where we have Sybil, Dade, Voss, and his Nysdrith going with you, or
Yeah, Nysdrith will go with them.
Okay. So you guys make it back to Johann's. Step inside, and you'll see that out along that massive fire pit that covers most of the main room, you'll see that there's been a table kind of settled in right by that, and you'll see your wonderful lady in the green cloak. She's just sitting there alone this time. You don't see her companion. She is having a drink and having a bit of bread and cheese. Just looks like a relaxing meal. She's just chilling out, is what it looks like.
I'll approach and I'll stay, probably a couple feet away and be like, do you mind if we join you? We have some info for you.
She looks up and she just kind of nods. Yeah, free. Yeah, have a seat.
Well, I'll pop a squat next to her and I'll just kind of gesture to whatever the rest would like to do.
I'll sit.
You guys can pull up chairs. There's definitely a couple around scattered by this area.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So we have a few things. First off, from what we saw, there are 3 knights. They're all in that tavern. They sit separately because they are taking in pretty much the whole inn that they can see.
Right.
Make sure they're not jumped. So they are definitely watching each other's backs. The 4th is a spellcaster, I believe.
Yeah, it's
Of
one of
some
those
sort.
stupid fucking Knights of the Skull bullshit. They're knights and wizards. It's fucked up.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't know. I just knew he was a spellcaster. I didn't know if he was considered one of the Knights of Neraka. Or if
he's
was
probably
just
the one ahead. He's probably the one that's heading them all up.
That's fair. But I'll describe all 4 of them, what they all look like. I'll let her know that the woman that was with them is definitely wearing half plate. She's ready to go at a moment's notice, it seems. She's also very on end and did not like when I touched her armor. So that's fair. I mean, I can get why that was a thing.
So Tara will kind of chuckle. She's like, touching a knight's armor is like somebody grabbing your junk. All right? It's unexpected and rude.
That's fair. They're also planning on, after we go retrieve said package for them, they are going to meet us at the edge of Nightland Forest. And I'll kind of give her the general...
Yeah, she'll shake her head. She's that place is fucking creepy.
Well, we have one of 2 options. Go there and make the rest of their lives hell.
They're fucking Nightland.
I don't know anything about Nightland, so if you have info on it, definitely let me know.
Well, so Nightland...
I assume they didn't just randomly choose it. So
you got the Dargard Mountains here, right? The Dargard Mountains. They run north and
Right.
south. Right at the edge of that is Dargard Keep. That's where a Death Knight used to live. An undead knight of Solamnia used to live in a keep at the edge of those mountains, just north of that forest. In my opinion, that forest is fucking cursed.
Great.
all right. Well, that's definitely
It's miles. It's like a day or two travel from the keep to the forest, but it's still like that's, you know what I mean?
yeah. No, absolutely.
By cursed, you mean like with like ghosts and spirits and shit like that.
Yeah, nothing to fuck with is what I mean. 100%. You have an undead spectral knight that, by all legends, pretty much could have prevented the cataclysm, but said, fuck you, and let a mountain crash down on the Temple of Ishtar to start the cataclysm. So, yeah, that guy's house is north of the mountains and north of that forest. So, for me, don't like the forest.
That's fair. Well, that's probably why they want us to meet them at the edge so we don't actually go in.
Maybe.
But that's where they want to meet us in the next couple days when we retrieve the package and bring it back.
So are you going to actually go after it?
Potentially. But maybe for a different reason. I'm not a fan of the Knights of Neraka, just like you're not a fan of the Knights of Neraka if you get my drift.
I don't usually give a shit about the Knights of Neraka. They're fucked up. I don't like doing business with them, but they got my brother killed. That's right now what my issue's with them.
Sure.
Well, we have an opportunity to rectify that situation because we know where they're going to be. So one of the thoughts that I had is we either get there first and spring a trap, or we meet them there and spring a trap.
I'm not going near that forest. If you guys want to do that, I'm all for it. That's totally cool. And I appreciate it. And it will help me kind of get some, I guess, closure to know it's being handled. But I am not going near that forest.
I have a counter offer that may be up your alley then. Is there any way you can potentially slip something in their drink or their food while they're here to weaken them? So when they do make it there, it's not as difficult for us to enact said vengeance.
All right.
I'm a bit on the nose. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But I also know you're from out of town, and clearly you've never dealt with these guys before. So you basically have three factions of the Knights of Neraka that you deal with. Knights of the Skull, Knights of Lily, and Knights of the Thorn. The Knights of the Thorn usually have some sort of divine abilities, which means poison means nothing to them.
That's fair.
The Skull Bastards deal in wizardry. The Lily are just the ass-beating stick of the knighthood. So they're like your Knights of the Crown, for the Slumber.
But we know there's probably one Knight of the Skull, the magic user, and at least one Knight of the... You said Lily are just the ass-beaters, right?
Yeah.
And at least one Knight of the Lily. The other two, I'm not sure. I mean, we know they're knights. We don't know what faction they are because they were covered.
Right.
We didn't actually speak with them.
The problem is we have a situation in Firstwall right now where the the overseer for the Temple District, who is a stupid fucking priest of this red flame bullshit, is dealing with the knights. So if somebody tries to attack the knights here, or they feel like they've been assaulted, we have issues all around. And that shit can rain down hell on the Thieves Guild. So I can't poison them while they're in town.
Okay. And speaking of which, I'll pull out the fucking crumpled note. Be like, yeah, the cult kind of got a hold of us too. And
They're fucking everywhere. Thing. They're fucking everywhere.
They are.
Anywhere near the Temple District, and they're starting to infiltrate. Well, not infiltrate. They're starting to grow into other sections of the city. It's getting really
proselytizing.
Annoying.
They're proselytizing this town being reduced to ash and rubble, and everyone dying.
Fuck them. All right, let's be real here. All right. If Cinder wanted to come down and burn this fucking town, we'd be dead. We'd be dead.
Yeah.
Clearly, absolutely. Cinder wants this town to survive for something.
Fair.
But whatever. I can try to track him down outside of town and see what goes down. And maybe slip something into dinner or water skins. But I'm not doing it in town. That's for damn sure.
Fair enough. Voss, any ideas here? Sybil? I'm open. I mean, we don't necessarily have to meet them there. They got to leave here to get there. I mean, we can set something up along the way so that way she doesn't have to go and we can kind of work in tandem to take care of this. How do you want to do it?
Well, there's other people involved in this situation, so we should probably discuss this when they're around too.
That's true.
Are you all staying or are you heading out tonight?
We're probably going to head out, but
all right.
We need to get this ironed out so we know what our course of action is.
If you decide to stay and need rooms, let me know. I got the hookup here, obviously.
Fair.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
I guess we'll go discuss. If you don't hear back from us tonight, we left, and do what you can, because the plan is to nip this problem in the bud at some point
Yeah,
in the next couple of nights.
I'll get eyes on them. I know some of the net shifted beggars, so I'll have them keep an eye out.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate your time.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get this handled in a quiet, discreet way, and I'll reach out a hand to shake her hand.
She'll shake your hand. She's got a surprisingly firm handshake, but she'll let
Cool.
you go. She'll just give your hand a pat on the back, and give all three of you a nod.
I guess we'll head out unless these two had anything else they wanted to discuss.
Oh, if the quiet one, and she'll just kind of point towards Sybil, needs a room, let me know. I can get her set away perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
She'll just wink at you.
It's like she'll just kind of.
Sybil's like, whatever.
It's like she'll not quite whatever. She'll just kind of shrug and smirks a bit.
Like,
I'll
good to
think
know.
about it. I'll think about it.
We'll promptly fuck off.
Okay. So, you guys going back to the blacksmith to meet up at that point?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to discuss with the rest of the crew at this point.
It's been about an hour at that point. You guys traveled down to the other side of town, come back to the blacksmith. Yorg's gone and done his stuff. Those staying by the wagon, it's been boring as fuck. Like, once Liam has sharpened his blade as much as he wants, he starts doing practice forms, like in the front of the blacksmith shop. He's good, but it's like he doesn't really talk to anybody. But once everybody shows up, he just kind of gives you guys a night salute, pulls a blade up. Who wants to fight? Can use a live target.
It's beyond me, buddy.
All right,
Oh, I'm
fine.
down. It's like, oh, I'm down.
Oh, all right, lass. All right. He'll spar with you. Like he will basically seal on the sheath of the blade, so it's like, or you guys go flat on the blade, one of the two, and you guys will definitely spar. I know your level. I know his level. I need you to roll your perception against his deception.
I would like to be watching around at others who may be watching this battle go on.
A couple of the two blacksmith apprentices are definitely kind of watching as this is going on. Rin is definitely asleep at this point in time, so that's a 13. Let me roll his deception. Does that show up for you?
Yeah, it does.
17. Would you like to roll dice?
Deception from a Knight of Solamnia.
It's for feints and shit. It's
Yes.
It's the closest thing you can get to it.
It's also to like see if he's holding back or the extent of his abilities,
Right.
things like that.
I know. I'm giving you shit. Conspiracy theory. Just say it.
No, I got you. Do you want to roll, Corey?
I'm not sure I want to waste time on that.
Okay.
It's Sybil's inexperienced enough, I think, that like she's definitely got some experience to her, but not enough to really probably tell if somebody was actually holding back on her.
All right. So the way the spar goes for like the next half hour or so, as he's basically pushing through drills, essentially you see him not only as he's sparring with her, he's also trying to instruct with defenses. Like you're seeing some, like literally textbook. Not that you know this, but for those that know the Knights of Solamnia, like for example Jorgen in particular, these are textbook defenses and counter attacks from the Knights of Solamnia's playbook, essentially. And he's basically walking you through how to deflect them. He comes across as more skilled than Sybil, but he's not arrogant about it. It doesn't seem like he's holding back. Like he's not that far skilled above her, but just enough to make it where he can turn around a good strike against her into a lesson.
I mean, the entirety of the time that she's doing these drills with him, he's clearly getting frustrated, mostly because small town mercenary, thinks they're big and badass, and then they get put on their ass by somebody who knows better.
A knight, a fucking knight, no doubt. Yeah, he's definitely not arrogant about it, which probably could be a little frustrating because he's actually almost passé. Like, oh, okay, yeah, not bad. He's so blasé about the whole affair that could be frustrating, especially if she's really trying to spar with him. But that goes on for like a half an hour. Jorg has maybe a half an hour more to go, but while they're sparring, the horses get shoed and you're all ready to go with a half an hour to spare.
In that time, I'll start letting people know, like, listen, this is where the knights or the contacts want us to meet. If we go and get said package, in the end, Nysdrith, this is, do we pursue this further or do we fuck off to Palantis? This really comes down to you. Could this potentially get us more info? Yes. Could this potentially be dangerous for all of us? Absolutely. We know what lies in Palantis. We don't know what lies at the end or near this forest. But we do have allies. We do have people that will either weaken them or follow behind and give us aid if needed.
We'll have to confront them at some point anyways.
Yes,
Because
they're
if
gonna
we
come
don't
after
show,
us if
they'll
we
come
don't.
after us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you don't show, they're gonna hunt us. They're gonna hunt us down.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter if we don't show. Had we not shown to talk to them, they were coming anyways. And us running into them was an inevitability. It's just, do we want to do it on our terms or just allow them to eventually catch up? That's the question.
I think we should speak of it once we leave town.
Yes.
Doing it here in the open where people
Well,
can
we're
hear.
away. I assume we're away near the blacksmith and kind of off to the side a bit.
You guys letting Liam be in on this conversation?
Nope.
Okay. Important thing to
Nope.
note.
He's sparring with Sybil, who
Oh,
already
it's
knows
while
what's
he's
going
sparring. Okay,
down.
fair enough.
Oh, yes.
Well, she's right. There could be.
Ears in the darkness.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Or
Then
even
we'll wait.
spells where people can listen to you.
Fair enough.
True again.
All right. Fair enough. We'll wait then. And then once everyone's ready to go, we'll leave. Once we leave town and are well out of earshot, we'll discuss it then.
Okay.
Because at the very least, we have a couple of days.
They wanted to
So-
stop me from reaching Palantis
Yes.
for whatever ends they had.
They probably want you so they can control you. You were very
So
clearly
do
very
you
valuable.
think? So here's the question: do you think that we'll find information that will help Nysdrith by meeting them at the edge of this forest? Or do you think they're trying to prevent her from returning to Palantis because someone there can restore her memory?
It could be
Yes
that
and
somebody
yes.
could restore her memory, or it could be that she'll be better protected in Palantis than on the road.
Do they
Restoration
know what I
is
am?
out of my abilities so
They-
far.
They refer
You
to
say
you
that
as enchanted
you say that
armor,
they
but
was
I'm
a
pretty
social-
sure they know what you are.
I am not enchanted armor.
I'm well aware of that.
What's that, York?
didn't you say that they said that they wanted the enchanted armor for
Yes.
information?
It had information, and it was very important. They tried to make it sound like it probably belonged to someone very important and maybe had etchings inside or something, or was magically enchanted from their god. They
So they
never
want to
even
dismantle
alluded
me.
to what she
Yeah.
really is.
Or you have memories that they want
don't
to
know.
extract from you.
Yeah,
Right.
no
That's what
disassemble.
I'm thinking.
They just made it sound like you were special armor, and clearly that's not the case.
It would make no sense then to deliver me into their hands.
I agree
That's
with
If
that
we
statement.
go and they attack and you all die, all of this was for nothing.
That's true too.
Or they.
But we're not going to be in Palantis forever either. When they come to hunt us, there's nothing saying they're coming after us in Palantis. We have to leave eventually.
They
Maybe
could
by
always
then
am-
I'll have my
Right.
memories back.
Either they ambush
Maybe.
us on the road on the way to Palantis, or we ambush them at this meeting spot.
But if we are waiting because we know they are coming,
There's a confrontation either way, is what I'm
No
saying.
matter what.
We
it's-
just have the luxury at this point with the information we have of picking the
Choosing.
battlefield.
Exactly. So what are you saying, Nysdrith? Are we heading to Palantis, or are we going to go to this?
I think Palantis is the wisest choice.
Perfect. We'll let Liam know along the way who's going to be coming, because I think Liam would like to know. Just not here.
If you tell him here, there is a very real chance he will go and confront them.
Oh, it's not a chance. That is an inevitability, Nysdrith. So yes,
And
we'll
it
wait.
would be foolish.
We'll let him know along the way to Palantis. But yes, as soon as Jorg and everybody is ready, we'll head out.
Okay. So Jorg's once the duel finishes up and people get a rest and have some water, Jorg heads back to the gem, the jeweler, and as the gnome walks in and pushes that door open and hears the ding ding of the bell, you can see the jeweler behind the counter is actually examining the emerald that he has carved for you. It's like, welcome back, my child. I think I have exactly what you need. It'll put it down on the counter for you to examine, and it's to your exact specifications.
All
Beautifully cut. Beautifully cut.
He appears to have what I need.
Yep.
I will pay him what he has asked for and attempt to leave.
He'll thank you, and you'll head out your way.
All right, cool.
So
far, so good.
You get back to the blacksmith unmolested. And
All right.
I will tell you out of character why. You are labeled with a group that is with the Thieves Guild.
Gotcha.
That is why nobody's fucking
Word
with you.
has spread.
The beggars
Gotcha.
have switched shift and let the new beggars know not to fuck with this particular group because they're family. You guys are free to move.
All right. You got lucky.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Jersey Local 4.
Otherwise it'd be like, cool. Perception checks all around. Here we go. But no, you make it back just fine. You know, the gemstones is exactly what you need to do your next device that you're going to make, and everything is great.
Since I'm at the blacksmith shop while I'm waiting for the tanner to get done,
Yep.
I want to see if I can get a small piece of steel rounded to use as the fitting for the bag. Basically, it's a fitting for the gem. It's got to go on the side of the bag, and that's got to go around in order to create a little dimensional.
One of the apprentices can get that done for you. Probably cost you like maybe 2 or 3 silver.
I will do it. Go for it.
Yeah. You hand over the silver pieces, and they'll just kind of double check the specifications. You'll see them kind of draw out with like a charcoal pencil what you want done, and they'll set about making it. By the time the tannery's done, by magically accelerating the time it takes to tan the skin and make it prepped, the blacksmith apprentice is taken care of as well. So within, I'd say probably by 6 o'clock, you guys are all ready to go.
Good enough.
Rin at this time will have woken up, and he went to go climb out and like get something to drink and eat. And he's like, no, get the fuck back in that wagon. You're staying down on lockdown because you're fucking trouble. I knew how the spellcaster was bad. Magius was a badass. You were just a fucking wimp. Stay in the back of the wagon. And so
He
Rin's
mentions
like,
having a spellcaster is a bad thing, and Nysdrith just looks at him.
like, Rin's like, where's this coming from? He's like, I just know you are a bad fucking omen. And he looks at you. He's like, you? I don't know what the fuck you are. You're fine. You haven't caused trouble. But he has, by existing. Understand?
Does one cause trouble simply by existing?
Because he wears white. You wear red, you're fine.
I will get confused with a cultist.
No, they're like blood red. Aye?
Perhaps
Like a-
I washed my robes one too many times.
Like a crimson. Not faded, but still strong in color. You're fine. At that point, Yor will come back with his tan ogre skin. And the apprentice will give over the little fixin for you to kind of handle and put into the bag. Money is exchanged. You guys are good to go. You will see that the Knight of Slimy will reattach the horses and reharness them to the wagon. And as you guys leave the city, your horses are well rested. Their shoes have been repaired and cleaned. They've got their hooves kind of shaved. They've been taken care of as you guys leave Firstwall.
Oh,
Nope.
before we leave, I'm stopping back over to Tara and giving her her brother's pendant.
Ah, yes, because you said I would give it back to you.
Yep.
She thanks you. Like, it's just a quick handover as she's getting ready to go
Yeah.
to fucking, like, handle other shit. You actually catch her leaving the inn as you step up. Hand her the pendant. She thanks you very much. And kind of wishes you good luck.
I will wish her the same.
She'll pat you on the cheek, almost a little condescendingly, but she will do so. Just thank you. And go about her business as you guys head out.
Ray,
Okay.
we're about a day's travel away is when I will let Liam know about the Knights of Neraka and that they're going to be hunting us pretty soon.
Oh, hey, by the way, there's just this little thing.
So you're a dick about it is what I'm hearing. Like, that's really what
I'm
I
not a
am.
dick about it. I just want to make sure we're far enough away where he can't turn around and go back to that tavern.
My question is,
Oh, you, sir, are mistaken.
do
You can
you
always
guys
go back.
let out everything that happened, such as the magic breeze that was over when you took an oath?
They didn't actually
Gotta
take the
remember.
oath.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
Oh,
they
I did, kinda.
I didn't take no fucking oath.
Sure. I'll be like, yeah, this guy was like, here's an oath. And I'm like, I was playing a part, man. I was all about, yeah, you got my oath because I don't give a fuck about your God, you know? But there was this breeze and
I shrugged.
I didn't
I
feel
never
any
said
different.
yes.
I did because I don't adhere to his God's rules. My God praises me for putting on such a great performance.
Knowledge Arcana roll. That.
Go ahead.
No, I
Yeah.
already did.
Well played.
Yeah.
Nice. 23. So
I don't know shit.
for Nysdrith, it could have been a magical effect 100%. Especially if this guy was a spellcaster like they said. It could have been as simple as prestidigitation to cast like a minor effect or an illusion even that to kind of like scare them into believing that they just made a true oath.
Yeah, I'll tell him it was bullshit. I made the roll when it happened.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, it was a spell. I know what it was. I mean, I don't know the
Yeah,
spell, but I know it was a thing.
Nysdrith concurs and says it was one of two things. Either it was a minor illusion or prestidigitation.
They're full of shit.
That's fair. I could have done the same thing if it was prestidigitation. I mean, I might use that in the future. That was a good fucking trick.
And logically speaking, even if their god did know everything, you were sent to find an enchanted suit of armor.
Yeah.
Great.
And if I find an enchanted suit of armor, I'll be like, dude, this is what we got. But you're not
I
an
am
enchanted
not
suit of
enchanted
armor. So my oath was never to get you.
Rin will
You're
clear
not an
his
enchanted
throat.
suit of armor. They weren't clear.
It was understood
Yeah,
what
what's up?
they're looking for. So if it were an oath, that'd be binding. However, Zivlin is not a god of the Knights of Neraka. Come on.
He's a neutral god.
Right. They were using the name to inspire, or to fuel the deception, essentially.
I
They
see.
didn't even choose an evil god's name. It was a neutral god.
Right.
Basically, they were taking us for a bunch of idiotic country bumpkins.
Yes.
Whatever works.
Yes.
Either way, we got useful information out of it, and that was the point. So
Well, that works.
Liam's fuming, by the way, as he's like driving the wagon. Like he looks upset.
yeah, I know. That's why I didn't tell him back there, because that would have been a problem.
You hear him mumble occasionally. You didn't fucking tell me because you didn't want me to fight. Oh, I'm supposed to fight.
No.
you fucking
Is-
asshole."
is it like-
I don't
alright,
care.
alright.
I don't care if you fight Liam. I didn't want you. This is not on you. I didn't want you. I didn't want us to die. We were in a city that we know nothing about, filled with people that could easily turn around and all come after us.
You'll hear him snap the reins as he kind of looks over his shoulder towards the back of the wagon. All right, listen, I'm going to tell you one thing right now, fuck now. We know they're coming for us, right? It's
Yes.
a challenge they've made against us, aye?
Yes.
I have every right to stand as a Knight of Solamnia against that challenge and meet it face on, honorably.
And we will.
And you
After
stole that
we
from
take-
me.
We didn't,
You stole it
because
from me.
you have a higher purpose in delivering these bodies and bringing her where she is needed in Palantis.
Can you do me a favor?
I'll put my hand on his shoulder. I value you, Liam.
Play me a soothing song on your goddamn lute
I'll pull out my loot.
and shut your fucking mouth.
It's not a soothing
Okay.
song when you're singing like this.
Okay,
Just keep
so
swimming. Just keep swimming.
so he's up.
This
He's
is
upset
really
like
brown.
he overslept and missed breakfast. He's not upset like Tackleberry missing
No,
gunplay.
no. He's,
Okay.
he's more frustrated than anything.
All right.
that's
Tackleberry.
all.
You didn't get to shoot anybody.
Like, I wanted to slam my face against the wall. Why didn't
No,
you let me slam my face against the wall?
Yeah.
It's literally, I think, had he done it and had we helped him, in the end, we would have died because this town doesn't know us. They would have turned on us.
Well, and then on top of it, knights are being backed by the cult, which is infiltrating
Which is
everything.
backed by a fucking dragon. Let's be real here.
There's a lot of shit going on.
You want an excuse for the
Firstwall.
dragon to come and burn down the town and make that prophecy real?
Yeah, no, fuck
There you
that. We gotta go.
So
Not like he needs an excuse. He's a fucking dragon, but if he wanted one, it's there.
Right. There's that too.
Exactly.
you all travel through your first couple of days and start making your way out of the mixture of the bogs and the foothills of Throt and into the plains of Gardland. And by day 2 or so, things start to clear up. It's getting warmer. It's now let's see, it was the 27th when you started, which means it was the 29th when you guys got to Firstwall, which means it's now the 31st of March. 2 days have passed on the moon chart. I need to move that really quick.
I definitely will be spending a majority of our time when we're walking. One, I'll be playing soothing songs to get everybody's mind off of the trials and tribulations and boringness of travel. But I'm definitely keeping an eye out, knowing that we're being hunted.
As you guys come to rest for one of your nights for camping, you will see that Lunatari has started to move into the waning phase. So it's got the first waning quarter showing up, and then Solinari is starting to wax now high, almost getting to the point where it's getting more and more full. Obviously, you can't see the black moon because that's of no consequence to any of you. You're not aligned to it, so you can't actually even see it. So that's where the moons are in the sky as you guys come to rest 2 days out of Firstwall. Now, the night that you go to rest, Nysdrith does not have to rest, obviously. But as you are studying your spell book, making notes, and trying to remember some of those spells that are just teasing on the edge of memory, you start having these visions where you see this almost like a pool of glass on the ground, like in a mountainous bowl. You're in a valley and there's mountains all around you. And for some weird reason, when you look up at the sky, you can see all the constellations of the gods, and you see the three moons aligned as if they would be during Night of the Eye. Solinari on the outside, Lunatar on the inside, like the iris, and then Nutari as the pupil itself, looking down upon this bowl in the mountains. And when the lights and the stars and the moons shine down, they skitter across this very still surface. Looks like it could be water. Looks like it also could be glass. And on the surface of this dark, shimmering outside, you can see a couple of figures. And the first one, the one in the fore, is this black-robed figure with these golden hems on the sleeves and on the hem of the robes itself. The hood is pulled up high, and it's a bit low over the eyes, but you see whiffs of this silver hair coming out from beneath it. It's walking alongside this bull-headed armored god to its right. The figure on the left-hand side of the black-robed individual is a red-robed, looks like a male or so by the build. You can't really tell, but it's walking with this massive book in its hands. And as they approach the edge of the glass surface of this water or reflective, pool, whatever it is, they come to the shore, and you see among you, as you look left and right, you see 3 knights and another person in white robes standing beside you, a male. And the figure in the black robe starts to speak, and your vision breaks.
Gonna write that down.
And that's where we're wrapping for the evening. All right, deals have been made, and I say that loosely. Clearly, they're not intending to stick to those deals, and the group is now on their way to Palanthas and onto the plains, headed west. We'll catch up with them next episode and see how crazy things can get on the road. See y'all then.